Good morning. Thank you for joining us on today's live on ECWA TV Africa. We've been discussing corruption for a few days now, and we lay the foundation. After laying the foundation, we look at how corruption have eaten deeply in our lives. Generally, we look at public sector. And then we talk all angles, when it concerned corruption. And today, we want us to look at issue of morals generally. Where did we get it wrong? And then to proffer solution. Is there hope? Like we said yesterday, if yes, okay, how do we go about it? Because it is something that is really eating us up, in the society, and then we feel it's something that we need to contribute and then proffer solution, all of us together, bring our hands together, and then really fight this ugly incident that is really bringing us back and is painting us badly in the eyes of the global community. So, and today I have my sister, my colleague Joyce Yakwari. We're going to do this together.
Yes, Samu.
Good morning.
Once again.
Yes, once again. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah, today all yellow. All right. Corruption. I want us to look at corruption. Just like we say today, we are rounding up the issue of corruption, but we talk about public sector. We didn't even look at the private sector. Corruption is a topic that you can't say you can even finish it in 1 month if you are to discuss it and to look at the nitty-gritty, the components that come together and make up corruption in all facet of life. But we do our best. We discuss it in our own little way with people's contribution. But today we want to see, okay, now we have the issue of moral. We talk about percentage. Then we talk about the level of the corruption. Then with the percentage that we talked about yesterday, I remember you said 15%.
For me personally,
yes, that's 15%, and then the word itself, corruption, taking 75%, which I said 20%, and then 80% taken by corruption. That's moral 20, and then corruption. And you look at this coming from us. We have so many people, we interact with people come to us, people talk to us about certain things, seeing, our catchment area. Can't you people talk about this thing? Can't you see how this thing is eating up this thing? Can you imagine this particular thing happened to me? And then just like that, like some experiences that we share, and some of us have our own personal experience with either the security agency or one office or the other. And then looking at it, the question, do we have hope?
We do have hope. As a country, we have hope. Even though corruption has eaten deep into the society, into the country, into every facet of life, but we have hope. And just like you mentioned, we've been talking corruption for some days now. We looked at it even in the marketplace, even with us as individuals, even in our own offices, public sector. And I think, just like you said, the focus will be on morality and also government offices. Like in general, we're talking corruption in general, so that we can round up on the topic, conclude, and all. And it's important to note that, or to mention that, yes, we have hope as a country, because the country is not developed yet, it's developing, even though corruption is stopping it from developing, from achieving that developed status. But it's a gradual process, and if we keep talking about it, just like the GM mentioned yesterday, if we keep talking about corrupt practices, we keep talking about things that people practice, or things, harassment and so on, that you can tag under corruption, then we are headed to achieve success, in the fight of corruption. But it will take us years. You know, it will take us a very long period of time to achieve that status of not being corrupt. And it's not like we can deal with corruption entirely in a country. But at least if we have a high percent of people that are not corrupt, or a high percent of sectors that is not corrupt, then with a low percent of sectors and people that are corrupt, at least we've achieved something. Let's say maybe in over 100% now, we have less corrupt people. Then you can put them maybe at 80%. Then corrupt people at 20%. At least you can't rule out to say the country is corrupt or this sector is corrupt. No, you can say this sector is not corrupt because the highest number of people there, or the percentage, you know, is the uncorrupt, not corrupt people. So is a way is a plan already, you understand, put in place, even though, yes, the plan seems like, okay, today we wake up to hear different things, or the EFCC are not doing enough, or one thing or the other. But I think is a headway. And just, we give kudos to people that are doing the right things. You know, even in, yesterday, I think it was you or the GM that mentioned, even in our offices, in the EFCC, these people are being put to curb corruption, but you find that some people there are corrupt. And you'll be wondering what is happening. You are put, this organization is set, this agency is set up to fight corruption, but you still practice it and you are working in that place. How do you want to fight corruption even when your conscience is not clear? Your conscience is not clean. If you are put, if you are sent to tackle or to arrest someone that is corrupt, and he offers you some certain money, some certain amount of money, definitely you will collect it. And if we are talking about morality in regards to corruption, if individuals uphold good morals, talking about values and all these things, they will be aware of the consequences attached, you understand, to their action, and they will refrain to in practicing all these corrupt things. If they have integrity, if they have fear of God, if they have values, they have even trust in the system, they will refrain from it.
Okay. I want us to just look at, break it down, look at it generally. Like you mentioned, we're going to look at the corruption generally in all aspects of life. We have the market, we have school, you have from the primary school to the tertiary institution. You have the public sector, you have the private sector, you have the high and the low, you have the middle class, you have the community. And there are certain things that is happening or that do happen in a community, and then we just feel it's normal, it's part of life. And then we forget easily, because it's either is not to us directly, then we start pointing fingers. Just like yesterday, we mentioned the issue of people being pointing hands to leaders in our society. That any small thing they will say is our leaders, they are not leading us right, they are not leading us right. You, the follower, are the followers following right? Are the followers doing the right thing? You look at a situation where I think the first day, that's when you raise that question, when you go to the market and you see someone, you know, matching the they call it mudu, the measure.
Yes.
You know, just to get to sell, not in to collect the money but not giving you the right measure. And then, or someone stocking or hoarding a commodity, and then create an artificial scarcity, just like what we are facing now. The NNPC now are telling us that there's fuel. You go around. I can imagine our experience yesterday for just one hour, 30 minutes, or getting to 2 hours. We're just looking for fuel, you know, in a capital city. So you can imagine that stress. But the NNPC are even putting jingles out there, telling us adverts and telling us that there's fuel. We should not panic.
They are bringing it even out on papers, news station to say there is fuel, and it's just rumor, and fuel is available, no scarcity. So you'll be wondering what is happening. Is it from the marketers? Is it from the distributors? Or some certain people are hoarding this fuel because it's the festive period and they just want to make gains, or I don't know for what benefit.
That's my own personal experience, Joyce, yesterday for 2 hours, and we have to queue aside that. And that aside, just the issue of the commerce, and then you go to the issue of admission. Your child, you have to pay, or given a different cut-off point in a state. For instance, in Nigeria, we have 36 states, including Federal Capital Territory, right? And then you hear that the North are getting 80, while the South 150. That is cut-off point. So even at the spread of that, and you say one country, don't you think we are sending wrong signal and we are growing with it when you bring it down to morals? Because this thing starts from the grassroots. I remember when we were growing, they would tell you your neighbor first. Make sure if you see your neighbor going through certain things, lay a helping hand. This is what you do. They teach you love, teach you moral, teach you how to behave in a community. And when we were growing, you find out that a child is not for one person. A child is for the community. And you don't see it now. From getting admission, from changing result, some go to an extent of even buying result for their children. And these are people that supposedly expected to be leaders tomorrow.
And I would like us to talk about this instance. For example, we're in a nation, right?
Yes.
That comprises different ethnic groups, different
religion.
age groups, different gender, religion, and all.
Yes.
Now, we have seen corruption even as young people growing up. We've seen corruption, corrupt practices, or corruption in general, practice in different sectors, practice even in government, practice even in our health sector, practice, just mention it every day, you see it. There are people that live, breathe it, and nothing happens to them at the end of the day. Now, I'm talking about the authorities now, people in position.
Yeah.
As a young person, a youth, when you have the ambition that, okay, when you grow up, you want to go into politics, you want to go into the government, you want to do a lot of things. And you are seeing someone leading by example already. By example, I mean in the corrupt practice, When that person is in office, maybe there are some things that are tagged to him. He has been doing this, he's engaged in fraud, he has embezzled some certain amount of money, he's not credible at all, and he's still in office. Or later he might be arrested. You understand that he will go through some processes, and in the process then he will come out, then he will be refurbished in a way that he can even contest tomorrow for another political position. We do it to recycle leaders in our society. In Nigeria today, this person will be caught with maybe the problem of fraud, the problem of some criminal whatsoever. Just because he is in high position, he'll be treated like a first class. Okay, it's okay. But later on, this same person will come out. You see him seeing that he wins that position at the end of the day. Then he can do his term, do his tenure. Then at the end of the day, he will be, given another position, maybe a retirement plan. You can be a criminal there. At the end of the day, you'll be celebrated in a way. A retirement plan. You as a young person watching that, do you know what will come to your mind? That's if you don't have fear of God. Your mind, your thought will be, they should just wait for me. When I get there, I will do the same thing. Or I will even do worse. They think this national cake is just for them. We hear comments like this every day. Corruption doesn't just start and end with us. It starts with us, but it doesn't end with us. It goes through generation. when you are doing something now, people are watching. It's either they are taking the bad, taking the good, or taking the ugly. There are people that will take the good and say, no, this person is a corrupt man. He can't be my mentor. I can't even attach myself to him. I want to do differently from what he's doing. Somebody can take the bad. Okay, yeah, this man, yes, he's a good man, but he has his own weaknesses. When I get there, me too, I will tap a little, then leave the rest for other people to take too. You understand? If you have a cabinet and you are sourcing them, you are sorting them, yes, indeed. What are we doing? That's why I said corruption doesn't end with us. And it doesn't even end just by, okay, leading by example or teaching or influencing the culture negatively. No, there is reputation attached to it. When people practice corruption, or when someone is corrupt, you will know. No matter how he hides it, you will know. His integrity will be tainted. Values won't be there. Except maybe he hide it. That's why yesterday when GM asked, I said morality is 15%, while corruption is 85%, because we try to, even though we try to hide our ills, our vices, that we practice hypocrisy. That was what I meant.
Yes.
Practicing hypocrisy, you might try to hide how you steal these funds. You might try to hide how you treat your people, your inferiors, you being superior. You might try to hide a lot of these things, then show face when it comes to public spaces, or when it comes to even media. You act differently. It's as if, okay, no, you are not this kind of person, and all. There are times you see it even in our homes where a young person will be picked to be a nanny to maybe a home where there are little children, or the woman is giving birth and she has little ones or pregnant, and that little baby or that little girl is picked, or the little boy is picked to help in the house. This child doesn't even know how to fend for himself, but he's being put to care for these children. You know, we find it a lot in Nigerian culture. It's as if it's in the constitution. When you are married, they give you a little child to, you know, you are giving that child. It depends on what you do with that child. It's either you prioritize education in the life of the child. You know, when the child is living with you, you can start practicing how to be a mother, how to be a father to that child. Put him through education, or put her through education. Do a lot of things what you do to your own children. But no, we see it differently. The child will be humiliated. The child will be molested. The child will go through a lot of these things. But your own children, you don't do that to them. Your own children are the first-class citizens in your home, while this other person's child is just, it's as if it's not even worthy of the life or the air that he is breathing or she is breathing. Then you treat the person as if he's not human, you know. But to show face when people are visiting, or when it's an occasion, or when you're going out, that's the time you buy beautiful dresses for the child so that you can show face. Or when people are visiting, that's the time the child will even get to sit on the couch where your children are sitting, or eat from the same dining. But when these visitors leave, you treat the child how you've always treated the child. Where is your morals? Where are your values? What are you even teaching this child? Because the child is learning. It's not just about the treatment. That's why I said it doesn't stop with us. It's not just about the treatment. It's about how you even influence other people's life. This child might grow up and say, maybe that's the norm. When I have my own children, I'll treat them like that. Or he might grow up to say, wow, I'm being treated like that. I want to do differently. Or he might grow up with so many inferior complex, so many doubts about himself or herself. Just so many things. You've influenced the child by just being corrupt. Being corrupt in the home. What is required for you to give children? You only give your own children. You don't give this other child, because he's not your own. And sometimes we forget that motherhood doesn't have to do with laying on the bed and pushing and giving birth. No. It doesn't. It's not necessarily that. You can. That's being a mother. Yes, you did whatsoever. Or that's being a mom. Or that's the biological concept of being a mother. But it goes a long line away from even giving birth to a person. You know, it's taking charge of that person's life, nurturing. this is one aspect of the home front.
Yes.
Then we have also in our public offices, which I think yesterday we discussed a lot on it, which has to do maybe with funds, which has to do maybe with nepotism. You are bringing somebody that is unskilled to an organization which you know that productivity is required. That person year in, year out stays there without any changes. And you know there are some offices, maybe not private, more like public. It's as if it's a Nigerian thing or an African thing to just help someone. This person needs help, so let's just create an office and put the person there. Let the person be receiving some certain amount of money, even if he doesn't do anything. You are removing this money that you are giving this person. Is supposed to restructure, supposed to build this organization to greater height. But imagine every month deductions are being made to someone that is not even useful to the organization. Tell me, what are you doing? You are killing that organization. Okay, if we are so sympathetic or we are so compassionate, why don't you, okay, since you still have interest in the person and you want to see the growth of the person, keep the person aside, then from your salary be giving the person. Instead of damaging this organization, bring somebody that is productive to do the work. But no, we see even in higher positions where, sorry, I'm just bringing so many instances. We see in higher positions where you know this person is corrupt, but because he's loyal to you, you leave the person there. No matter what it is, you leave the person there. Yesterday you asked the question, does corruption start from the top to the end, to the bottom, or is it from the bottom to the top? And if it can be justified because maybe the people at the bottom see that their organs at the top are corrupt. There are times that things like this happen, and maybe this person that is at the bottom is a different person. He has values, he has integrity, he has so much of those things, which the organization doesn't even respect. Because they see you as, let me use the Nigerian term, JJC, or a Jew. This one, you're not even smart. You make your money where you are working. But you just want to fold your hand or something. Then you are trying to restructure, you're trying to do your best. But your organ at the top is not aligned. What will you do in that instance? You have to ask, you know, what will you do in that instance? Sometimes we make it look as if we don't have choices. We do. We do. There are consequences to any choice that we make. You leave. Is that you leave if you can't take it because of your integrity, your values, and if you cannot change it? Because there's this term that they say, if you can't beat them, you join them. I don't think it's so. I don't think so.
Well spoken, and I like the way you elaborate. And this question that you just asked, you find yourself in such situation, what would you do? I will tell you that it depends on your belief, and then the kind of morals you grow with, because aside belief, there's a general morals. You know, this is a standard of how we behave. It's either in your tribe, you have your way. This is the way you live in your own, or you find yourself in a particular community that you grow that is outside your. There's a way that's set as a standard, and then we have already family standard, family values that you grow up with. That's why if maybe someone wants to marry, those days, I don't know if it still happens now, they will ask you from which home, from which clan. They ask such questions because they believe that some people have integrity, they have morals, they have values that at least is acceptable, that people can easily relate with. And they will tell you, okay, I think I should look for a wife, or I think you as my daughter, I want you to marry from this family because this is what I see. Seeing that, you know, when our parents begin to say that, sometimes you don't even think about the future. You think about now. But what they are seeing the future, because they believe you will drop a seed and then your seed will keep growing. So they want to see that seed of good morals, integrity, values, you know, stretching, you know, and affecting even their family, where you're coming from, either the male or the female. But it is really alarming the way things are going now. that you find that people don't really care. And then even choices that you said, yes, there are consequences to choices anyone makes in life, but you will find out that people don't really care nowadays. Like, it's my own choice. If you feel, and so what? Is a general thing people are doing. If you said something, they will ask you, what about this person? What about that person? They did the same. So what happened? Forgetting that you yourself, you are even accountable to yourself. First, you are accountable to yourself, and then family also, and then relatives, and then where you come as a community. People don't really see that. You mentioned something, you know, the family circle. Okay, you treat this child that is not yours, that you just pick. Maybe maybe you picked it from a relative. And then you are treating the child just that the way you painted. Or maybe you don't have any connection. You just feel this family, they need a help, so you want to pick one from the family. And then when you come, there's this nepotism playing without you even knowing. Some is intentional, some they don't. Like playing in your own house. This child, whether lady or guy, depending on the gender, they have a particular cup that they take water with. They have a particular plate. They have a particular place they sit or they sleep. And then your children. And when you go out, like you said, hypocrisy. There's a way you present whole thing. And then this kind of people, they are the ones, if you hear the voice, the volume of people criticizing even the people at the top, the government officials, you will hear their voice so loud. Like agitating for change, agitating for this, for good governance and the rest, while forgetting our own immediate cycle. Then in that cycle, who will be held responsible? Now, if they say they come to your cycle, will you present yourself if they said this thing you are doing in your own family is wrong?
You know, most people, when, just like you said, when you are talking corruption, we see it like a very big term that is just attached
for other
to
people.
Maybe people in high position. And there are people that are watching right now and they'll be like, thank God I'm not corrupt. No, when we start bringing out instances, you will know that you are corrupt. The Bible even says the heart of man is desperately wicked. See, the example I brought about the family cycle is to prick people's conscience into what they are doing, even behind closed doors.
Yes.
You don't treat people that way, then show face later. Or you don't treat people that way, then ask for change. No. That person's weakness you are seeing is because the spotlight is on him. That's why you can see his own weakness. Clearly. That's why you can see that, yes, he stole this amount of money. That's why you can see that, yes, he doesn't take care of his constituency or he's not taking care of his community. It didn't start just from there. It started, corruption is like a habit. When you do it first time, it's like, okay, let's say you stole 100,000. You do it first time, nothing happens, no one, you are not brought to books, or no one even saw you doing it. The second time, third time, you get used to it, and you start bringing techniques and strategies on how to steal more. Then you leave that position that you were, then graduate to another. As you grow, if you do not tackle it or stop it, it will lead you to a bigger deal that you will still point something billion of naira or US dollars. We've seen it. People that just wake up, when we read in the news, this one stole 2.1 billion, this one stole 1.6 million US dollars.
Check his
You
record.
didn't just start today. It's not a one-time thing that, okay, no. He believed he could do it, that's why he did it. He believed that there are strategies and techniques.
And then getting away with it.
That's why I said he believed he could do it, that's why he did. Because before you believe that you can do something, you must have practice. You must have thought about it. There are so many things. You don't just wake up and steal money. No, you have to think of the consequences. You have to think of, oh, what if I'm being nabbed? What will happen? Okay, I don't think. If I follow these techniques, if I follow this strategy, I will not. And that's why things like this are done. You that is in your little circle, you know, maybe in the family setting, doing all these things that you are doing. When you are given this big position, it will show. When the spotlight is on you, it will show. People like to talk about other people's sin because their own, they feel is well covered, or their own sin is different from this other person's sin. You know, people categorize sin as this one is more, thank God I'm not a bigger sinner like you, or thank God I'm not a big thief like you. I only steal 100 naira. You, chairman, is still 50 million. No. When you are put in the position where there's 50 million, you steal it.
The Bible says sin is sin.
When you are put in a position where there's plenty of funds, there's access to that 50 million, you steal it. You are stealing that 100 naira is because that is what is available at the moment. That is what is available at the time. There's less resources in where you are positioned, you know, to work or to manage. That's why you're stealing that amount of money. When you are put in a bigger position, you steal the amount of money that is required for that bigger position. So when things come out, yes, I know there are times that we wonder what is happening. This person stole this. Is it doesn't have human heart? He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that, or he doesn't feel the pains of the masses. Yes, them too. We should talk about them because you have to be heartless for you to do that. Especially this pensioners' money. Someone stole how much billions
Over
of money.
2 billion.
Then we have the Ibinedion case that is coming out every day, fraud in the paper, and you wonder you are put in that position for what? Someone had trust in you. That's why he brought you to manage that position. He had trust in you. That's why he said, no, let's use your expertise in dealing with this, maybe restructuring or moving this organization to a greater height. But you are stealing money that is supposed to build that organization, that community to greater Nigeria. Because anything you build, be it from the grassroots, be it from the middle class, be it from is building Nigeria. It is, be it in the private sector, be it in the public sector, is development to Nigeria. You can't say, okay, as a private person, you want to come to just Plateau State to have maybe a, what company will I use now? Detergent company. And you think it's just for your benefit or you are not doing much. No, you are building Nigeria. How? You employ people that will do the work. That organization is an infrastructure, is a building. It will be in the, let's say, state capital. You understand? It's development. In short, even if for nothing, at least the area will be beautiful. At least the area, there will be accessible road because of your company. You think of, okay, let me tar this place, let's have a network road to the place. There will be lights. And when you're bringing light to that to your place, it won't just end with you. The community people will benefit. They will see the need that, oh, there is light now, let's have poles, let's have this to have light into our houses. So it goes a long way. It's the same with corruption. No matter what you are doing, it affects the other person. And it does.
Well, I'm looking at it from the angle, which, even though I can see today we are looking at the family, because I believe more we talk
all round. We're just saying the family is more like a foundation. When you start there, you grow into it because it's like a habit. When you start there, like you mentioned, maybe the person that is treating this other child wrongly is because she saw her mother doing it or a relative doing it, and she felt, you know, she didn't even think much about it, and she's finding her, now she's doing the same thing. You understand? Then what if you are given position? What if you grow in the government or politics? Government officials are human beings. They are flesh and blood. They started from the family. Nobody dropped from heaven and he is a governor. No, it's a process. He had maybe siblings, mother, father, whatsoever. Or if be you an orphan, at least you had a peer group. At least you had a social circle. You went through school. Even if you did not go through school, maybe there was one person. You can't be an island. So there was definitely one person.
Yeah, sure. There'll definitely be one person. You know, it's general. We are talking general corruption in general, but you can. I don't want people to wonder because we say general, and then our angle is coming towards the family angle, because you have moral on its own, and then you look at the family. That's where everything starts, because you start grooming people from birth. That's when you try to teach the child how to talk, you know, and because you said something, you know, leading by example.
Yes.
How do you lead by example? Definitely, everything starts from the family circle, like I said, because you can't imagine a child of if we like we will take break, if we like we will just continue. So don't worry. So don't worry. No, I'm not saying we will not take break. I'm just saying.
I thought you were asking.
No. I'm just saying. I said because of how the conversation is going, and you know, is a topic of general interest, and then we are trying to break it to even areas that people think is normal. Yes. No, this thing is not corruption, and people are following. So I want to say our community out there who really want your input, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, so please drop your comment there. Let's know your experience. Let's hear your input. Have you been faced with one issue of corruption and the other, or where people see certain things as normal, which is not, even from your belief? Like here, you know, our belief, we believe in the word of God. That is the Bible, what the Bible says. How do people take the word to even apply it to themselves, you know, making life standing out in a community or wherever you find yourself? Please send us comment, and we are grateful that you are following us. We appreciate you so much. We'll just take this quick break and we'll be back, and from there we'll now touch some areas before we round up. Thank you for still staying with us. This is Equa Television Africa, and the show is Today's Live. And in the show, we are talking corruption, and I still have Joyce here on the set, and we are discussing corruption in general, though coming from the angle of family, which is very, very key and very important, because some of us that grew up not really with our parent, and then we have friends that have different experience from different home, and you will see person growing and then adopting that, or doing something, as you mentioned, the good, the bad, and the ugly. He will just decide and say, okay, because of my belief, I believe Christ as my personal Lord and Savior, this is the standard, so I will follow. I don't mind what I went through, experience with so person, how he maltreated me, or I will choose to go with this, or they will say I will go for this for revenge. Yes. Because Joyce, I know so many people that told me that they are joining police force just to go and revenge, military just to go and revenge, because maybe their family members have been maltreated or treated like non-citizen, either military or police force. They will tell me, I'll go in there, that's the reason why I'm applying, I just want to go and revenge, I want to wear that khaki and then deal with people. I'll be like, deal with people that they don't even know whether you are a family member or you yourself have been maltreated. You can see the mindset.
If you think that way, you've not even gotten over your trauma, or you've not even gotten over your problem. I don't think that is even
right. Yes, I think we should hear people saying, because of this injustice, I want to go in there so that I will contribute my own quota, yes, and bring change, and then make that place work as just like the way it should be. And you see the issue of leading by example, that is baton shift. It is really, really contributing to whatever we are going through. Imagine you as a young child growing, and then you are seeing, even to some, do you know that among siblings, you can find either mother or father treating one particular person as if he's more special than any other person, and then other ones growing up with that kind of mentality, and they begin to feel even if they come to a particular society, they are grown, the way to treat someone is normal because that's the setting that they go. So it translates to either work or personal, is either public sector or private sector. It translates, and you see people treating people, and when you trace their history, like you said, when someone have the opportunity of stealing 1 naira, he will do.
Yes.
When you put him where he can see 50 million, definitely. So you trace their record back. And I think this point that you raised, I so much like it, because those people that stole billions of naira, I think they should go back and trace where they are coming from. You know, if they are, let's see how they grew to that cadre which they were, and then be able to do that rubbish. Permit me to use that.
That's why sometimes when someone is being caught, they try to look back to where he was managing even before this one, this particular, the recent or current one, and they see where the problem is or where the problem was, and if there were instances like that, or they go back. It's not like they don't necessarily go to the family, but at least they go back to his career, whatsoever, if it is a public or private sector work setting. Then you see, you mentioned the issue of favoritism in the homes. You can really take it out because it's the human nature, even though that's not a justification, it's a human nature that you see a father or a mother loving a child differently. You know, it's either maybe the mother will pick the first son or the father will pick the second. It's human nature. But when you put so much energy into hating the rest or treating them differently, that's when you know that yes, you are corrupt and so on. And we've been talking corruption, and we don't just want to stop there. There should be recommendation in everything, in even the matter of corruption, because we are not just talking corruption because maybe it's a beautiful word to pronounce or it's a beautiful topic to just talk about. No, we want to see change in the society. Nigerians are tired. I'm using Nigeria because it's an instance. That's our survey group. Nigerians are tired. They don't want to hear things like this person stole this person did this person is involved in fraud, and with a very huge amount of money that you'd be wondering, so we have this money in Nigeria and we're still borrowing. You know, it's tiring, it's exhausting. When someone can take billions of money, then we're still borrowing from other countries to source ourselves or to even finance our budget. There's something wrong. If you can have that heart that this is a country that is struggling, then you're not part of the country. You are just here. Maybe you might be a foreigner from your heart or from your nationality or whatsoever. If a country is suffering and you are taking from it, it's like an organization suffering, and you are still a thief in the organization, taking what is required to pay staff salaries, to pay for diesel, to pay for all these necessary needs of the organization. You are not part of the organization. You don't know the struggle of the organization. You don't even know where the organization is heading. You don't even know the vision and mission of the organization. So it's the same to it, even people in position. They don't know where Nigeria is headed. They don't even care. They don't want to know. They just want what is for the general public, for themselves and their children and their family, immediate family, and they want to cash out. It's more like a competition. It's more like the high-class people compete with each other. You have this, I will get it too. Even if my salary or the budget or my own money will not service my lifestyle, I will get it in either crook or whatsoever means, you know, I will get it. And that's why people go into these different lifestyles just to steal. If you can steal like that, why can't you see that, okay, make revenue is a public sector. Revenue, what is declare, first of all, declare your assets before you get into the position. When you're put in the position, how can this organization make profit even to source Nigeria, to source to service the country's needs? You know, we have remittances that some people or organizations or whatsoever don't even remit at the end of the day. Then they bring it out in news. 1 point this was not remitted by this particular sector. This. I be wondering, don't we have people in charge? Isn't that even the person in charge is being sorted that at the end of the day, the people that are supposed to remit the money don't do it because what they give you goes straight to your pocket. So many issues like that. If you start looking at other sectors, be it the water board, that's the water sector of Nigeria, be it electricity, be it what other, I can't even remember the rest, education, all this sector, there is corruption, and that's why the sectors are not moving forward, because there are people there.
You don't give light, you bring estimated bill. The person that is coming to collect the bill is coming and he's cutting your wares, and then he's negotiating with you that this estimated bill, just if it's 7,000, he's telling you just give me 3,000, I will connect it, and then he's not even taking the 3,000 naira or maybe whatever amount you have given him, that is to even the organization. And then you on your own site, you are saying already you have paid something into that particular account, maybe you are reducing, but the money doesn't get there, and he connects your light, or they cut your light and you didn't go there to pay your bill and you reconnect it, or they're giving you 500 naira to cook soup and you use 300, is corruption. People don't see it that way. Or you have given 500 naira as group, you as a group leader, just 500 naira, Joyce, to share. And then you are telling them it's just 200 naira that they give you. And then you share the 200 naira and you hold the other one. And then you are looking up to someone that stole billions, and you are thinking, you know, he's the only one that is corrupt.
He's a thief.
I think we should talk to ourselves. We should see these things as wrong. This is where all the corruption starts. That's why this jingle of the federal government, I think from NOA, the National Orientation Agency, that said change begin with me. And then you are jumping queue. You know, people are on the queue, and then you come, you jump, and you are okay.
I think as individuals,
yes,
first we should be honest with ourselves. Then as a nation, we should uphold integrity, uphold values, accountability, and so much of those things that are required, so that people can have trust, believe in the system. When people start having belief and trust in the system, and they know that this system has value, this organization has value, there will be change. Even if it is just 1 out of 10 people, at least already, it's not everybody that is corrupt.
It's not.
Let's say the statistics is 2 people out of 10. Okay, 8 people out of 10 that are corrupt. These 2 people are not. They uphold to their values and all. When we start having more belief, at least one person will join.
The number
another one will join. Before we know it, we have a greater number. And how can we do that? We should expose corrupt practices in all facets of life. We should expose it, no matter how little. Expose it. And take advantage of the social media. Things are happening, put it there. Let people see. Expose what is happening. Do not try to hide and say, okay, this organization is modest, so let's, okay, this person was holding a bigger position, so let's do hush-hush. No, there's nothing hush-hush. When he was stealing, he didn't do it hush-hush. He might have done it hush-hush when he was stealing, you know, but when it came out, or when he was balling, when he was living extravagant life, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. When you start exposing that, what used to be hidden, expose it, bring it to light. When a new person is taking over that office, he will know that when he messes up, it will go viral. When he messes up, a lot of people will be involved. When he messes up, you know, it won't just be left like, okay, let's recycle, let's take him to another organization, or let's what is it called? Give him another office, you understand, to manage. I've forgotten the word. Like, give him another office, compensate him with another office to manage. What are you compensating? A criminal, someone that, you know, rubbished that organization. When we start doing it, it will help. It will go a long way. Then we should stop encouraging dishonest people. When somebody is dishonest, I think one-on-one you can even sit with the person. But we try to, let me mind my business, let me know this person is dishonest, so let me just be on my own. No. Dishonesty, before you know, is a practice, is a habit that it can grow into you being corrupt. Do you understand? When you start practicing, okay, you are giving maybe 10,000 to hold, and nobody was there when you are giving, you start reporting it as, no, it was just 5,000 naira that you are giving to hold, and nobody will come out to say, okay, this is actually the money. And it has to do a lot with contract, people that are awarded contract. At the end of the day, you give a budget, this is what your budget requires. Then you are giving the money, disburse the money, but along the way you bring inferior things that you want to work with in the budget. Or you don't even do what is required at the end of the day, and the budget, the tenure of the budget elapses at the end of the day, that the government or the authorities start looking for another company to take over. That's a dishonest practice. Or
you find out the same authority will be encouraging you and tell you, no, if you do this, if you go by this, you will spend a lot. Why can't you just break it so that at least we will save some little money, and I will not expose you. I will say you work, your work is according to standard. You know, sometimes, you know, the issue of supervision and the rest is contributing to even where we are first. I don't know, do we have any comments?
No,
Facebook?
we can go ahead.
Oh, okay, okay. And then you see, you already prefer solution, and we said it. We said we try to discuss it and then to see a way forward. Do we have hope? Yes, we have hope, because particularly us as believers, you know, we believe in God. We believe in our Lord Jesus Christ, because if you look at it, we as Christians, we can't say we are living by the standard of the government. You can't say that. We are living by the special grace of God. And then God is helping us, is taking care of us. And then we know that, yes, we are just passing. But even as we are passing through this world, he has promised us things will not be funny. Things will be funny, but we should find a way that we will stand out. That is why before they will tell you, they will say, if a Christian is being asked in a court to give a testimony on a particular thing, immediately he finishes, the judge will pass the judgment, because they hold our words because they believe is the truth. So we should not drop those values. Yes, we have our standard community and the rest, but the Bible have set a standard for us, so we should create that difference, and you should know that we are the salt of the world. And then, like you said, gradually, if we are doing the right thing, it will keep increasing. Before you know it, that desired change will be there. We may not totally eradicate corruption, but to the barest minimum, at least we'll cut it. Yes.
And my last words: honesty, transparency, accountability are the watchwords.
Remember that someone out there is watching you, whether you are aware or you are not. So know the kind of life that you live. Live a life that someone will pick as an example, you know, and then follow to better the society that we have. And then know that Nigeria is what we are discussing is a Nigerian project. So if you believe in Nigeria, definitely you will frown at anything that is negative. Let's try and do our best, because change begins with me. Thank you for doing this with us here on Equa Television, and then see you on Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, Monday, God's willing, with fresh topic, God's willing. Thank you, and God bless.